have to realize that we're going to have to really focus during note taking, because you're not always going to have videos made for you. That's absolutely impossible, and especially those who continue on and go to college, you're not going to always have the easy way out. I'm very proud of some people who in the first assignment didn't get it, looked on YouTube, found a way to do it. You need to ask questions, but you also need to do things to practice. So when you get home, practice, or later that after school, I guess you're already home, you're going to have to even sometimes cover your answer in your notes and then try to see if you can do the problem. Then go through the steps of your notes to see where you made a mistake, if you made a mistake. So the first thing we want to look at are the parallel lines, just the properties really quickly. Y equals 4x plus 10. So here we have a line and we talk about the slope. When we deal with slope, y equals mx plus b. So the m would be the slope, and it's the number in front of the x when we're setting y by itself. Setting the form of y equals mx plus b needs you to have y by itself. So the slope of 4 means we're going to go up 4 and over 1. So you could pick any spot here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. Anywhere we go in the graph, we'll follow that same pattern. So if I were to go anywhere else in the graph, just randomly grab it and go up here, I could follow the same slope. So that's something that every line, if it's a straight line, the slope continues over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. So what we saw and hopefully understood was that the parallel lines will be any number or any equation that has the same slope. So I could do just y equals 4x, and my blue line has the same slope. We can see the rise and run is the same, and they will never cross. Parallel lines never cross. So then what if I put y equals 4x minus 5? So what we hopefully also noticed was when the y-intercept, when we deal with y equals mx plus b, the b, the intercept, is the number right here. 10 is where we crossed the y-axis, 10. When it was 0, we crossed the axis at 0. When it was negative 5, our intercept, we crossed the axis at negative 5. So if I said y equals 4x plus 5, to refresh your memory, you would start graphing by putting a number at plus 5 on the y-axis. It's called the y-intercept because it's where it crosses the y-axis. Then I'd go up 4 and over 1 and end up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And I would connect it to make a parallel line. So that's the first important step, is that a line that is parallel has the same slope. So let's take a line that I have here, 4x plus 3, oh, I'm using the same number, that's good, 4x plus 3, and we want something passing through the point 3,5. So passing through the point 3,5 means we want something parallel, but touching point A. So we can kind of imagine if you have the green line, we'd need to move it down. Let me just estimate here, y equals 4x. So that brought it down, but we need it lower. So let's say minus 2. Brought it lower, it's getting closer, minus 4. Getting closer to A. See, but we don't want to guess and check, and we won't always have a graphing calculator. So, when we look at this equation, the first thing we unpack is the fact that we're dealing with a parallel line. The second thing we want to look at is the point we're passing through. So because it's parallel, we know it's going to have the same slope. So our slope has to stay 4. We write an equation out, y equals 4x plus b. And we need a new y-intercept, because as we just saw, the y-intercept controls up and down of where to move my graph. And we know we need to move it into a spot that's going to touch 3,5. So we're going to input or substitute 3, 5, because 3, 5 is the same as an xy coordinate. When x is 3, y is 5. So over here I'm going to see where x is 3, and I'm going to cross out the x and make it 3. I'm going to see where the y is 5. I'm going to cross out the y and put a 5. So I have 5 equals 4 times 3 plus b. So after I put in my slope, the second thing is I input my xy, my point coordinate, and the third thing will be to get b alone. So 5 equals 12 plus b. When we subtract 12 on both sides, we get negative 7. So we have to put this back into an equation. We have learned our slope stays 4 because parallel lines have the same slope. Our new intercept is at negative 7, so we push the line down to the spot. We put it together in an equation of a line. The b we just found goes at the end of the equation. And we found a line that's both parallel but also will touch the point that we're looking for. Let's check. 4x minus 7. 4x minus 7. Our purple line now is parallel to the green line, but it also touches point A. We had to push the line down to where it went through negative 7. Our intercept was negative 7. So that's a more detailed explanation.